Hi, my name is Ryan Southwick. I'm the author of the Z-Tech Chronicles, and I'm going to share a fragment of the first book from the series, Angels in the Mist, which is a contemporary epic urban fantasy blended with science fiction and based right here in San Francisco. A Walk Through the Mist. Anne was in heaven. A few shivers was all it had taken for Charlie to enfold her in the warmth of his jacket under his comforting arm. And even her demons knew better than to disturb her bubble of happiness. Head resting against his chest, she closed her eyes and absorbed his scent, a musty mix of cologne and that earthy smell that made Anne want to wrap herself around him and purr. Wouldn't it be terrible if we got lost? We'd have to stay like this for hours. She snuggled closer and smiled. Oh, darn. A loud pop sounded from overhead. She looked up just in time to see the streetlight nearest them go out. A moment later, the same happened to the light ahead of them, then the one behind. Thick fog blotted out star and moonlight, leaving them in almost total darkness. That's odd, Anne said. She reluctantly withdrew from his warmth and fished around in her purse. I've seen streetlights go out before, and they're usually quiet. Maybe a transformer blew or something. Aha! She pulled out a small flashlight and clicked it on. Its broad beam lit the sidewalk, but didn't penetrate very far into the mist. Oh well, at least we won't trip. Still think you can find the car, Charlie? Anne stepped forward, but a touch from Charlie made her pause. Stay close, he whispered. What's wrong? His cautious tone put her on edge. The lights didn't go out by themselves. They were broken. He picked up a small object from the ground. Her flashlight glinted from a shard of clear glass between his fingers. Charlie, what's going on? A sudden chill raised the hair on the back of her neck. I don't know, he said, searching the darkness. He ran a hand through his hair. Come on, the car's just up ahead. Anne latched onto his arm, and they set off at a brisk pace. Shadows danced in the mist, but disappeared when she tried to track them. Her demons stirred in response to her fear. Phantom fingers groped at her wrists and ankles, making her want to scream. How much further? She said, voice trembling. The figures in the fog were becoming real, faces she knew from countless nightmares. They haunted her like specters. She clutched Charlie's arm, swinging her flashlight this way and that. Charlie pointed ahead. It's right up, and shrieked when one of the shadowy figures took form. A wiry man jumped from the roof of a parked car. A blond streak near his temple divided his dark hair, and a frightening grin spread across his pasty white face. Charlie darted between them. The wiry man grinned wider. He advanced as if to walk right through her guardian. Charlie put a restraining hand on his chest. In a blur of motion, he caught Charlie's arm and hurled him into a parked car. Like a scene from her worst nightmare, Charlie struck with the force of a wrecking ball. The car crumpled around him in an explosion of glass and screeching metal. Anne rubbed her eyes, hoping it was just a hallucination, but the gruesome scene remained. Charlie's limbs protruded at sickening angles from the wreckage. She turned her shaking flashlight back to the wiry man, making his unusually large eyes glow. He mouthed a single word. Run. If you'd like to know what happens next, the book is out June 16th, 2020, and you can find it on Amazon. Thanks for listening.